How I became an Andy Sidaris girl. Okay. It's actually a wonderful story. I got a call late afternoon, early evening from Ava Fabian, who's a wonderful friend of mine who knows Cynthia. And she said, there's some movie thing that Cynthia was supposed to do and she can't do it and they need to cast right away. Here's the number. So I call and Andy said, you got to come up and meet me. And I'm looking at my boyfriend at the time and I said, I think it's legit because it's like night by this time. So I think by the time I got here it was 7 or 8 o'clock at night and Andy opened the door and literally said, "You're hired." And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, he must know my work, or I'm so hot, he just hired me. Not realizing I was on a plane to Hawaii the very next day. So you guys were desperate, but I think I filled the bill. And I have to do another one. So I did Savage Beach and Guns. I'm still acting. Thank God, my career is going stronger than ever. I just starred in a film in Florida with Bobby Carradine called Nearly Departed, directed by Bob Cook, another wonderful director who's been in the game all through the 80s and 90s also. And I also star in a film called Do You See Me that was at Cannes last year, so it was great being on the Cannes red carpet again. And I've got a few things in the fire right now, one that I'll actually be producing as well, called the Black Widow Club, that's going to shoot in Missouri. And I've got a big commercial running. It's actually an awareness campaign to get people to get tested for Hep C. And I got to shoot that in Eastern Europe, which was amazing. And just living life, lots of travel, have an incredible husband, and just nothing but the greatest memories of how we met and what we worked on together.
Well, so how did I become involved in the movies? Well, a friend of mine, Kevin Klingler, had started trying to represent different composers. I used to ghostwrite for Lalo Schifrin. And so I was doing films, I was doing some TV, I was doing different things as kind of a ghostwriter or a writer. And so actually, so Kevin got the gig to do this and to hire somebody for it. And so he put me on it. And it was actually the first film I ever scored. It was Hard Ticket to Hawaii. And I did that at a studio in Glendale. And used a combination of at that time, synthesizers and samplers and all the stuff because there wasn't a budget to hire a full orchestra. And we always did a song for it. So there's a song called Hard Ticket that we did. And it was actually 2 songs, one that Kevin wrote and one that I wrote that's in the movie. And then they kept me around and I wound up doing 2 more films. I did PICASSO Trigger. And I did Savage Beach.
The best one.
And of course, because she was in it. That obviously is the best. And they were fun. And I always liked trying to score away from the typical stuff because, you know, when you'd have a sexy scene, usually someone would bring in the saxophones and try to make all seductive. I would do fun music. I would just do happy music when like they were naked in the jacuzzi because it was just, it seemed to me to be a nice contrast, you know, instead of trying to play the sex, I would play the fun. And and I remember doing a 7/4 Latin thing under Rodrigo Obregon, and the woman was saying, "My ideology means more to me than fame and fortune," and I would just play it to the hilt because that's the only way to do it. You have to play it as reality, and then just push it that little extra bit. And it was really fun. I got to meet a lot of different people. I think I met at a couple little social events and stuff. Donna and Hope Marie Carlton and Cynthia and Harold and people like that. And I kept running into Rustam Brannaman at the Grand Havana Room with my friend David Silverman and a membership there, so I would go to smoke cigars there. And Rustam was always there with Robert Davi, who has one of the best lines ever delivered in a movie from the movie Showgirls, which I'll leave out of this interview, but go look it up.
What was so amazing, you're talking about how you gave the music a little something different. The Sidaris films were so ahead of their time when you really think about it. I mean, women were in power in them, and the music was different. The lighting and the stunts were so authentic and beautiful. I mean, it's like it took so much longer for any kind of independent film or TV show to catch up to the look that you guys caught. And I'm really proud of that. I love how they stand up.
Well, there were so many stunt people who were actually actors in it. There was the guy,
right.
I was trying to think of the name, the Asian guy with the ponytail, Kwok? Yes, Al Leong. Yeah, because he was in a crap load of all kinds of other movies and everything like that, and was all over the place. And I loved lines like, there was one where Taron and Don, right, there was a drug dealer guy, probably played by Rodrigo, who was, and they said, what are we going to do about this? We have to think. What's the right thing to do? I have to think. And then Donna goes, well, I do my best thinking in the jacuzzi. So that led to the jacuzzi scene. It was so great. I've used that line many, well, I do my best thinking in the jacuzzi.
I've often been told by fans that my scene in Savage Beach, where I wrestle some huge guy to the ground, literally, like with my hand, and I'm like, I don't want to break my nail, so I do it with one hand. It was a lot of fun.
Arlene, thank you. I really enjoyed doing those films, and I had fun. And again, it was the first film I've done. And it's amazing. People find this stuff. Mm-hmm. There's like one of my songs. It's like people like, oh, I want a recording of that. Like the Hard Ticket song and the Savage Beach song. It's like people find it and they do fan art with it and stuff like that.
Cult classics.
Well, I have to tell you this. I went on a cruise, this sea goddess thing in 1989 maybe, something like that. And we were in the Bahamas. So we were walking around, and there's a big white building, and on the entire side of the building was a poster for Hard Ticket to Hawaii. It was like building size. I said, I couldn't believe it. I said to my friend, I did music to that movie. That was
crazy.
Nutty. Yeah, I still work in the music business. I did a lot of scoring for. I did all of Penn and Teller's music for about.
Oh my God! I had the same managers as them when I had my record deal.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was called Management 3, but it was Randy Phillips who went on to manage Michael Jackson at the end.
Oh cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I did a lot of I did their Broadway show. I did a bunch of TV with them. We did a variety show called Penn and Teller's Sin City Spectacular in 98, 99. And I did Penn and Teller Bullshit from in the 2000s, and they're still really good friends. And I work as a singer. I just did the Oscars. I sang for the Mary J. Blige on the Mudbound tune. And a few years ago, sang with Adele for
this is so crazy. I haven't done a music video in so long, but I just did one last year, and it was a Mary J. Blige music video.
Awesome. I'm performing a lot in the LA area and touring around, because at some point I said I'm going to stop sitting in a room and go back to what I normally do, and it's really catching on, and my voice seems to be in great shape for a 65-year-old guy. So GaryStockdale.com. Okay. It's very, very easy.
At Lisa London LA on Instagram and Lisa London Fan on Facebook. Before I left for Hawaii for the first film, they asked me if I drove a stick shift, and I said absolutely not. I'm a great driver, but I don't drive stick. Fine, we'll make sure the car that you have to race off in this one scene is an automatic. Well, it wasn't. It was a stick shift. So Andy said, she's wearing shorts. Put the stunt guy between her legs and let him drive. And yes, there was a man between my legs the entire time I was eschewing all that dialogue. It was a great, great, great day.
So, and Andy was always he was a big sweet bear of a guy, and always did his Hitchcock cameo. I remember him on the golf course. So, he was a memorable guy, as are you, and I'm grateful for having been a part of it.
Seriously, I mean, I know this might be politically incorrect, or what's the word, or not politically incorrect, not to be insensitive to the fact that women should be treated as equals, of course, but that's what these films did, in my opinion, because the female body is gorgeous, and when it's celebrated, and when I mean, we had top billing, pardon the pun, but there's something about the innocence of the movies too, because it was all in such good spirit, and everyone was treated with the utmost respect, and I just think they're sheer eye candy in all the right ways. They're fun, they're clever, and people want to be entertained. And I think Andy and Arlene Sidaris know how to entertain in every way that word is good.
I would say that they never took themselves seriously. They were having fun. I mean, Andy's sense of humor and everyone's sense of humor was all over it, and that's what I tried to bring to the music when I was doing it.